It's me, BWHue. I'm back. Hey, let's paint. Let's talk about what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a canvas. Oh, get you one of these. You're gonna need, y'all ain't gonna believe what I'm finna say. You ain't gonna believe me. I'm gonna say it anyway. You're gonna need 6 colors. Say what? 6 colors. But here's the thing. 2 blues. 6 colors. There's still only 3. Oh no! Don't tell me I got 2 of the same color blue. No, I did not. Okay. 2 blues. 2 different blues. I am not promoting a brand. I do not care what brand you bring. 2 reds. Oh, I didn't get any white. What was I thinking? Sorry, I got white. 2 yellows. All right, you're gonna want 2 glosses. Man, am I ready? I don't think that I'm quite ready to perform. I'm sorry, I just hit the button. It was like, let's go, let's do it. Okay. So you're gonna want a gloss medium and you're gonna want a matte medium. Unless you're doing like a magnolia tree, then you're probably gonna want like a high gloss. Just think about the trees that you have that you're gonna wanna paint. Oh yeah, if you weren't tracking, today's painting session is gonna be about how to paint trees. We're gonna do this in 2 different ways. We're gonna do trees as a pattern, and then we're also going to do trees as individuals. And I swear, I guess this way I know that nobody stole any of the paint. Nobody took any that wasn't supposed to be there. Oh my God, it's metallic. What the hell? F it, man. We here. We're gonna do it. I'm not sure why anybody would want. Oh man. This makes it like very, very crafty. And not a good way. I'm not sure why I decided I was gonna change brands. I didn't like, there was no like, I need to change brands because XYZ. There was none of that. It was just like, oh, I'm in this store. I'm gonna buy, and I know I need to buy some paint for this project. And like all of it is, oh, Jesus. All right, so my painting is gonna come out. We don't know how it's gonna come out, but we're gonna pray because this paint has like glitter on the inside of it. So my painting is going to be sparkly. It's okay. It doesn't really matter. Your pigments, like, they are what they are. Right? You have what you have. What's going to matter the most is going to be your application and your understanding of the task at hand. You know, the fact that I have metallic paint is going to actually end up playing out in my favor, I believe, because of uniqueness. Okay, so what happens that now that we have 6 primary colors. We should be able to make like 12 different trees, right? I'm not really good at math. I'm not gonna try, but like, you know, we've got the combination of this blue and this yellow and this red, and then the combination of this blue, this yellow, and this red. Then, so that's 3, right? Here's 1, 2. So you see what I'm saying? Like you can, every time we make a new tree, we're gonna grab like we're gonna make a new set of primary colors. And that's gonna be how we make our forest. All right, here we go. It's game time. Where do we start? Start with your biggest brush. Start as far away as you can. What do I mean? So, like if we're drawing a forest, right? Tell me what's present in a forest. Oh yeah? That's what you think? Yeah, you know, I can't hear you. But hopefully you were thinking like, well, in the forest, there's the sky, there's the ground, there's bugs. I mean, you know, you just start thinking about the environment as a whole. So that's gonna be where we start. Starting with my biggest brush, starting with the farthest object. And for me, that's gonna be the sky. Oh Lord, here we go, the moment of truth. Do I have a metallic sky? A bedazzled sky is something. Oh man, it's gonna look like a rainy day in my forest. That's fine. Oh man, that's dewy. So first thing I'm gonna do is gonna be, I need to go let him in. And then he's gonna bark at some random time in this video. The goal is to keep this video at 30 minutes, so I'm probably just gonna stop at 30 minutes whether I have a finished painting or not. You know, to have a finished painting in 30 minutes would be impressive, even if this canvas is 11 by 14. So yeah, I'm going for like all of my tech. I'm going for like all the information that I might even think that I want. You know, I kind of like that texture that pops up on the cloud. It just kind of like, let him in. You know, it gives the painting some dimension, and that's never a bad thing to have. This blue is pretty dark. I kind of like it. Now I've got to create some rather overcasty day for my painting, and that's fine. Kind of like it, you know, it makes it more ambiguous. Ambiguous? It just gives it some depth. You know, now I can like make these ghost clouds, like drop in some more white, and then some more blue, push it back. This cloud is just closer. I'm gonna put some shadow underneath it, on the bottom of it. I don't know how much sky I'm gonna put on here. Just get it on there, and like keep making sky. Don't just like check out and stop trying to make clouds and whatnot. Because the more information we put back here, the richer our forest is going to be. Because whether you're thinking about this or not, the trees have gaps. And one of the things that's going to make our work more effective is if we have information in those gaps of those trees. I don't know if I said this, but we are listening to my music. Well, I say my music, but you know, this persona here is Doublehue. My rapping persona is IAMBEE. All housed underneath, right out the box, multimedia productions. I feel like whenever I say multimedia productions, it's a whole lot easier to grasp what, I mean, it gives you a kinder idea of what's happening here in this office space, day in and day out. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Tell me. Right out the box, multimedia productions. I'm an artist. I am an administrator. I am an entrepreneur. Okay. I went way off into the woods on that one. Pardon the pun. Okay, I think this is enough sky. You know, I'm at 2/3, 1/3 on my canvas. Definitely, we're good. Go for some more water. As Will says, I want to be like water. Yeah, when he said that, I was like, bro, what? All right, and then the ground. This is where we're not gonna do a whole lot here. And we have to, the reason why is because we have to respect space. We don't have a lot of room left here to like create information, especially if we're trying to put a forest in here and then like maybe a tree that's like big or something. Like we gotta be careful. But we do need to put in the ground. Okay, so this what I'm gonna instruct here is to start with your blue and your yellow. Pick one blue, pick one yellow. Short strokes up, all right? Am I green here? about to be yellow right there. Ooh, not very green. So what does that mean? Give me more blue. All right, coming back to that same combination. Just big brush, short strokes up, because this is supposed to be ground. And like, I'm super yellow right now, so gotta drop in some more blue. And when I do this, you know, it's okay to go like one direction for a little while. That's gonna give us some, information. That's gonna like create the illusion of wind. I've never intentionally painted or drawn a tree. I've always just like, oh, I for this picture that I must draw a tree for, I'm just gonna like stylistically block it in. I'm not gonna like try to tell a story about a tree, like capturing and rendering every detail of it. It's in this very moment that I just realized that Doublehue just moved to YouTube. So, I mean, I'm jumping, but like, I don't know, how could I do this on Instagram? But how would this even make sense on Instagram? It wouldn't. It doesn't make sense. It hasn't made sense. All right, y'all don't need that. Y'all don't want that. I was about to have a business meeting. I do apologize. All right, so here we go. We've got this base. We got this sky. Man, I was talking trash about that blue, but like for this sky, whoa. Perfect. I didn't have to work for that at all. Okay, awesome. Let me refocus. So now this could get more attention, and it probably deserves more attention, but I've got 9 minutes to get this video finished. Okay, let me focus here. Let's talk about the tree pattern, tree rhythm. I'm going to a smaller brush. All right, next thing that we're gonna do, I'm change my blues. Kind of like that yellow. But, you know, we're gonna start on this back row, right? Give me a stroke, give me a couple strokes with your second blue. Don't make them all start on the same line. Give them different thicknesses. Do not make them brown. There's some woods in my backyard, and I looked at 100 different trees before I did this. Started on this lesson plan. None of those tree trunks were brown. They were all gray. As I go for this boom in red, I was curious. So I'm going back to the blues. Probably gonna make me, oh man, these colors aren't quite mixed in the way that I would hope. You know, I've noticed that about like virgin canvases, especially like the economy cuts, like you gotta get a couple layers of paint or activity onto it before it starts acting, before it starts receiving information, receiving and holding information. How about that? This is some pretty warm trunks. We'll take it. Try not to make them all the same thickness. Try not to start them all on the same height. Man, it was at this point in the conversation that I was like, man, yo, at that part of the conversation, I was like, man, we messed up. Will and I, we both messed up. Gotta be better dads. And I was also like, well, it can never be like this again. I can never have my wife saying the things that she's saying right now. Like, all right, these trees were supposed to be way smaller, but alas, man, such is life. And this is also about like teaching and whatnot. So here we go. All right, we're gonna pick on this guy in the middle. Oh, I made them all with the same blue, whatever. The leaves are gonna be where it counts. So we're gonna start with the shape. Just give me any sort of organic round shape. Just start with that blue. Make it as large as you want. Let's just go right here. Organic, keep that in mind. Does not need to be like a circle, does not need to be all right, and then we're gonna work to get it green. This mine is currently brown. Gonna need a lot of yellow. Okay, so if this was just a single tree, we'd want to bring back some of this background information and like random spots of the tree, but this is like the forest tree, so we're going with a much more fundamental structure. Once again, my thought here is organic shapes. And I'm trying to get it as green as I can get it, but this tree may just be this may be an autumn tree. This may be an autumn painting, how about that? All right, I reserve the right to make this video longer than 30 minutes. Okay, still. Didn't really get into using the mediums on this because, man, it's just such a, trees they don't need all that. They don't need medium, we don't need a mix, we don't need we're painting trees, we're not painting leaves. All right, so how do you know, what does the whole unit, what does the unit look like as a whole? So you're gonna need 3 sections for your tree. You're gonna need a dark section, you're gonna need green section, and you're gonna need light sections. the light sections are gonna be on the top. The dark sections are gonna be like on the bottom of the tree and on the interior of the tree. We're not gonna go in and draw tree branches inside of the tree. We can do that on the individual tree, but for right now, we're trying to paint in the forest. So, oh, jeez. Okay. I gotta adjust it. I am so sorry. Why is it sliding? Why does our technology fail us when we like need it the most or suspect it to fail us the least? Like, someone write a book on it. I don't know if I'm gonna read it, but it'd be good to know that somebody studied it and provided the information that we need, and it's out there. All right, so here we go. One of my painting rules is that we always paint from the back to the front. So this is what I just did is like a tree pattern. I'm gonna do it again for the sake of learning. I'm gonna bring this tree right here in front of the previous tree, changing my blues. I did not like clean out my brush. I'm not going to. Gonna create a new shape. Let's make it a new type of tree, right? Still organic, but I want this one to just be a little bit taller and a little bit rounder. But because we paint from the back to the front, I'm gonna paint over the first tree that we did. That's probably gonna be the case for this tree too. So if you don't want like all your trees coming forward like that, then like maybe start on the outside and work your way in. I started in the middle and worked my way out. Oops, wrong blue. Yeah, these are autumn trees. Not like the first couple days of autumn where, you get those bright reds and maybe we could. Yikes. I'm losing control. It's okay. How are we gonna get this tree green? More blue, more yellow. So far, I'm like half and half on this paint. The paint in of itself is fine. You know what? Why not? Why not have an autumn tree in the mix? And I say that because now we really get to test the concept. So on this tree, instead of having the colors I mentioned for the other tree, we're going to have orange instead of green. You know, we're talking about, now we're talking, you know, now it's not just a painting about trees and a forest and like the thick of things. Just now we have a story about transition. Keep painting. It's kind of funny now that I look at this tree, some of these sections that I didn't think were very green look a whole lot more green. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave this tree as it is. But I am gonna add some white to it. Drop that white in. I'm just here and there, just a little. And I'm not, when I make my marks, I'm just trying to be organic with my marks. I'm not trying to make like actual leaves. I'm just trying to make little short strokes that flow one direction. Flow another direction, you know, to mimic or suggest the idea that there is a tree branch there with leaves on it that is flowing this direction. But like anything beyond that, it's not my intention, not my goal. Okay, so I have no idea what colors on this brush. Doesn't look very green. That's fine. Yeah, when you're making that initial shape, like, just let it go. Let it be round, make it round, make it rectangular, you know, but whatever you do, make it organic. All right, so I'm going to make some more grass because I'm going to make our feature tree now. I'm going to changing colors, keeping the idea the same, short strokes. This paint is rather water soluble. I've had the hardest time with mixing and mastering this song. Here I go venting again. All right. Here we go, about to make a single tree. And our focus is gonna be, things are gonna change just a little bit as we work on this one, because now we are like really trying to capture a tree. All right, so I'm gonna start with my darker blue. I'm gonna create some motion from the bottom into the trunk. Let's make this in a more established tree, right? I can see someone out there saying, God dang it, man, why doesn't he just Make it easy. Where's the crafty version? Ain't no crafty version to this, y'all. Well, maybe there is, but I'm not teaching anyone how to craft. Have fun, do that on your own. And I'm not like trying to demean crafty artwork. Like, should you be a crafty creator? But I would also go on to say that if you are a crafty creator, then the power of your art comes from your style and your exploration. Therefore, you would be best served not listening to me or anyone else that's trying to tell you how to craft. How do you see the tree? Now, if you're talking about realism and we're going to like have an objective point of reference, then yeah, I can help. But crafting, no, I cannot help. I will not help. I will watch and appreciate. All right. This thing just came out like not the color that I want. Too much white, I believe. Spending a little bit more time, once again, because this one is focusing on a tree. All right. Very similar to the group trees, we're going to start off with our pattern. The outline. Not the pattern, I'm sorry. Starting with the outline, okay? I went up, but you know what? This is going to be like a special tree, and he's going to take his space. He's going to take his time. And you know what? He's going to take some of the other trees' space, and he's going to take some of the other trees' time as well. All right, but my focus here is creating the outline, just organic. You know what? Make it weird, even like. I hate outlining things before like working on it. Like, I don't like coming from the outside and going in. I prefer going from the inside, going out. However, for a tree, I am willing to make this exception because for a tree, a singular tree, because if you start from the inside and then try to work your way out with a singular tree, you're gonna have problems when it comes to the gaps. So let's even go ahead and do that. Now that we've got this outline, let's do some interior, like, man, this is some good information here. So I gotta preserve some of this somehow. So like, I'm just not even gonna have any of this tree there. I'm just gonna push this into that tree that was back there. All right, and then like, I like this little division right in here, so guess what? I'm gonna leave that too. It's a big chunk of the tree, but so what? See, create some dimension for this tree, so it works. So I would suggest you do the same. Try to find spots in your tree or try to find spots in your background that you thought were cool that you should leave because, well, you already did the work and you don't want to just be out here working and not getting paid. All right, and then after that, we're gonna fill it in. Goals being for me, for this tree is gonna be a green tree. I'm done running from y'all's Casper. I was on the phone with my dad when I wrote this song. Songs on it's like 2 topics, 3 topics. 2 topics, honestly. This part. I wear a lot of hats and I've got a lot of ambitions, and I am also afraid that I'm not gonna get to them in time. But this spot in here specifically, I'm talking about my dog that died. And I knew, the writing was on the wall. And I don't feel the same. They said that it can't. That right there is a groan. That right there. So I'm not, once again, I am painting a tree. I am not painting the leaves. Let's keep it down to one concept at a time. One thing I do want to say about this paint is, man, it holds. It stays open just the right amount of time. Like, I don't feel like I have to rush from my darks to my whites. Like, oh man, that's a beautiful thing. So I'm gonna put some of this white out here on the edge. You know, it's acrylic, but it's acting very oily. Pre-mediumed. I still can't quite get over this blue being metallic or metallicized, but maybe there's something to it. Maybe, I bet this thing has just been sliding all over the place. I hope that's not too much, and then you end up bailing because my camera was sliding as I was talking. All right, so I just picked up the wrong blue. Put it on down here or something. I said 30 minutes, and here we are pushing into an hour. This will be I'll be doing this painting again with Art Forces in the month of September for sure. However, I do imagine that this could be something that I end up teaching more than once. And then we'll be on it. How do you paint horses? Well, one stroke at a time. How do you paint flowers? Oh, we did flowers. Flowers, man, those things they can be kind of tricky. Because you'll have one petal that starts behind another petal but ends in front of both of the petals. And it's, how do you paint that space and respect the spaces that the petal travels across? Makes for some mayhem. When it comes to painting flowers, the more regimented you can be, the better your flowers are going to read. All right, so I just want to say this. I think I've said it already, but when it comes to which one is my red? I can't believe I haven't used any red here. I just haven't really needed to. I need it now though. The complementary color of green is red. But when it comes to painting a tree, if you have a highlight, then you have a shadow. Your highlight is going to be above your shadow. So I've got a highlight here, so I'm gonna have a shadow here. Got a highlight here, so I'm gonna have a shadow here. So on and so forth. Highlight here, shadow. Highlight, shadow. Highlight, shadow. How does red work as a shadow? If I told you I'd have to, no. So our object is green, right? And we can't use blue to make a shadow on green. It's just gonna, if anything, it's gonna alter your green. Yellow's not a shadow color. Well, most times yellow's not a shadow color. Most times red is not a shadow color. However, if you have a green object, red is a shadow. Red is gonna be your shadow color. Because it's not going, when you go to make that shadow, it's not going to change the chroma of your green. Is it chroma that's happening on this? Maybe. But it's gonna respect the green the color green that you have created, right? So like, I was talking about yellow just a second ago. If you have a purple object and you need to make a shadow on your purple object, you're gonna use yellow, because because it'll darken your purple object, but it won't change. Is it chroma? Is it hue? Man, it's one of them. I think it's hue. I think it's chroma. You know, these things are important. Everybody should be able, you should be skilled. You should take the time. You should take enough time in your work, in your labor, to try to include, to allow everyone to enjoy your work. And like, if your chromas and your hues and your colors are all random and all over the place, man, colorblind people can't get with what you're doing. Just looks like noise. If you're not gonna, and I'm sorry if I'm sounding like a snob, but like, you know, this is, it's not that it can't be learned. You can learn, everyone can learn this stuff. Everyone can take the time to make their work the work that they want it to be, colorful as they want it to be, and yet still enough control so that anyone that's looking at their art can see it and appreciate it still, regardless of what may be going on in the viewer's life. I want to make something big coming straight out. Running out of time. Well, I mean, I make my own time, right? But I was trying to be respectful of others' time. I mean, I feel pretty accomplished. Like, we just did 2 videos in an hour. We talked about 2 different, I'm pumping myself up. Here, this is the end of the second album. First album I played was Hawk's Landing. This album that we're listening to now is Stargazer. But this is the last song of Stargazer. You know, I kind of wrote it as like, show's over, time to go home. So go home. All right, so final verdict. Hey, Hobby Lobby's Master Touch acrylic paint low-key serves. So if you are a baller on a budget, and you're curious, I don't think you'll be let down by it. Don't think that you'll be let down by their paint. I mean, I feel like an impressionist right now, like one of the OGs. And I am. So here, probably heavier shadows, probably dark, much darker, like transitioning up into the tree. Get it as dark as you can, because like this is your last point of, I mean, all the shadows are gonna hit right here. If the shadows are hitting anywhere, they're gonna hit right here. So I probably should have used the medium here in this section to like help the tree separate from the trees in the background. I didn't. And at this point, it's too late. Like, you gotta mix that medium in when you're blending those colors. And I just, man, the colors were just blending so easily. I didn't even think to use the medium. But where's that gonna cost? You know, how's that gonna cost me? Some technical and some style points. All right, y'all. It's been an hour. It's been a power hour. You know, if I was really pressed, I would probably go in and finish it. However, maybe this painting is finished. I don't know. I'm going to look at it for a couple of days. I suggest you do the same. If you have any questions or you want to know more about like painting other things, DM me, comment, you know, talk to me. I am a human being. I do also read my emails, like all those things. I'll put like clips of this up on Instagram. You can talk to me there too. But if you don't say nothing, I'm just gonna like make videos about the stuff that I want to make videos about. All right, that's that. Thank you for your time. I apologize for the camera that just continues to slide all over the place. Y'all have a good one.